I'm a woman in sports.
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 Hear my story.
My name is Lauren Askavold. Welcome to this. I'm an athletic trainer here at CU.
My stage name is Liv Moods, but my formal name is Olivia Moody. I work in sports, and I don't really know how to categorize that into like a job title because I kind of do a little bit of everything.
I am Romy Bean. I am the lead sports anchor at CBS Colorado. I am the first female lead sports anchor in Denver TV history.
So I'm Morgan Montgomery, and I'm the former director of player services for the Denver Nuggets.
My name's Lily. I am the founder of Sportsish.
So my name's Haley Dermer. I am the Chief Business Officer for the Colorado Rapids.
So my name's Delaney Galbraith. I own a sports media company called Sports Girls Club. So what we do is we make sports for the girls too, because it's not just a boys club anymore.
It's a lot about just being a woman in sports. We're the minority, but I would just say being a woman in a male-dominant field, you come across everything you can think of. I'm sure you guys all already can kind of put two and two together. So it's really just standing on business. You have to. You can't be a pushover. You can't let people deflect you in a different direction just because you're a female and trying to get to where you want to go. I've worked with other sports. I've worked with girls soccer. I've worked with volleyball players. My personality and just like how I operate just goes really great with working in football and in a male-dominant environment sport. You got to lay down rules. You got to let them know, like, okay, I'm here because I want to help you. I'm here because I belong here.
I've always loved sports. That's just, always had sports on the TV. My dad's clapping loud. He's like acting like he's a coach from the couch. We've all had that. I've always loved sports. Today, I think on today's show, we had 12,000 live viewers. So if I say something wrong, there's 12,000 people that heard that. So the ability to be 3, 2, 1, we're live and just kind of have that entertainment aspect, I do credit a lot of that to my career as a dancer. Naturally, whoever's watching your stuff is going to watch you for their reason. And I've had to learn that, There's probably men that watch me because I have curves, and there's men that actually care what I think about the Broncos. I don't really care why you're watching me. You're watching me at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, I just had to make it very clear to myself, to any of my employers, and certainly to my followers that you chose to follow me, so you're getting all of me, and if you don't like it, the unfollow button is right where the follow button is. If you've already found it once, you can find it again. I think there are some people that are making more space for women, but I still think there's a lot of work to be done in that department. I think there will always be a stigma around women in this space. It's a male-dominated space, and a lot of the times I'm talking about male sports. And there's a lot of people that no matter what I say or how I say it, they really hate to admit when I'm right, and I don't need them to. I got hired. I get paid to do this, whether you like it or not, and so I'm going to keep doing it. And I don't want women to be scared to go for this, because there is room for you always, and you may have to yell a little louder. You may have to work a little harder.
There were so many people that told me, no way, there is not a single chance you are going to be able to do this at your age, starting so much later than everybody else. But I didn't take no for an answer, So just do not take no for an answer and find your own path. A lot of people would tell me, don't really talk about your time being a cheerleader because we want people to take you seriously. And that was really hard for me because I couldn't understand at the time, like, why though? Like that is how I got the platform to get here, and I'm working to create a name for myself. But it was a real challenge for me of feeling like, is anyone ever going to take me seriously? Because I know, as someone who has been a cheerleader, how accomplished those women are, but I also know, having been a cheerleader, is how so often people don't take them seriously, and people don't realize how accomplished and driven those women are. It was just a hard road to feel like you put in so much work, and you're putting in so much work to what you're currently doing, and to almost be taken double not seriously as a woman and a cheerleader, right? And so to try and get over those, plus my own imposter syndrome, there was a lot those first few years that I think I had to overcome.
Women in the organization or in the NBA as a whole, there's not a lot of us on all different sides, whether that's coaching, whether that's strength and conditioning, on the operation side. So I think the challenges of it are just not seeing somebody who looks like you every day and having to speak a little bit louder and, sometimes having to repeat yourself. So those pressures are obviously there because it's usually you in a room full of men, or maybe one or two of you. I'm one of those women that's walking in the room, so another little girl maybe can see me and be like, okay, if she did it, I can.
About 5 years ago is when I started Sportsish. But the idea for Sports-ish started much before that. One night in the TV truck, we had this female broadcaster, sideline reporter, and she was practicing her questions on air. One of the graphics men next to me started to talk about how, and in his words, he used stupid. Her questions always were. I was kind of looking around like, we're not going to put up with this, are we? Like, she is a valued part of our broadcast team. This is a woman in sports. But instead of like anyone sticking up for her, it was like a domino effect. Wait, is this what this industry is like? What am I missing here? I had grown up with a dad who worked in sports and 4 brothers. So I very much had been around sports my whole life, and I never felt like less than because I loved sports and I was a woman until that moment. And I realized that this is actually pretty common. I really had this moment of reflection. Is this the end, or am I going to pursue broadcasting, or am I going to kind of pivot my dream and start this business that I've been thinking about for truly years? And I decided to just go for it because I think it would honestly be naive of me to think that I could convince my kids to pursue their dreams if they had not seen their mom do so. So with a newborn, I started Sports-ish. I just started posting on Instagram. I knew that there was a fan base that had not been spoken to yet authentically, and that fan base was women. Because I saw women in sports, I wanted to be a woman in sports.
I'm not the first CBO in MLS. Unfortunately, I am one of the first CBOs, and if you take all of sports in America, that is a woman. But we're starting to see more and more of us pop up. Generally, just as science says, leadership does not come as easy to women as it does to men, which is BS, and it's because of cultural norms that push down and shape personalities. And so I think it's really important to instill that confidence in young women. I think I'm at kind of the tail end of like not seeing people like me at the top. It's great to be able to say, yeah, I'm somebody that someone wants to be when they grow up one day, because they see a woman leading a business in sports, in a sport they like, in soccer. That means the world to me.
As I was going through college, I kept having this voice in my head. As I got older, I kept experiencing interesting scenarios where sometimes people were confused by what I was doing. Like, are you there for the players? Are you there for, just different things like that I feel like a lot of women experience. I started having conversations with some of the other girls who were interning for the club hockey program, and I started asking them, like, do you have this experience when you go and work for this other sports team or this athletic program? And it came to the conclusion that truly I was not alone in that idea. And the more I looked online, the less I saw. There was nothing out there, and I was like, well, hey, I'm right here. So that kind of just started it all. I just get so appreciative when I see the girls just getting to live their dream and be the happiest they can be. And I really like that sports is starting to change a little bit too, and it's starting to open its arms to all of us. And I think that's so unique and cool.
Me being a woman in sports means being recognized for who I am, for my authentic self, being recognized and respected in an industry that is predominantly dominated by males.
It means I'm a boss.
I think being a woman in a male-dominated space is naturally going to be uncomfortable. Women in sports are uncomfortable for most people. They just are. And I think creating more space for women to make more people uncomfortable, like maybe that like cue the evil laugh.
I mean, women are changing the game, if we're being real.